just do a little quick tutorial on EdInsight and how, as a special ed teacher, you can add your case load to the dashboard and to run reports. And as you can see, I've kind of started that process a little bit here, and I'm just going to show you how that's done. What you're going to do is go over to the home. Now, the first thing is actually, I will be, if I haven't done so yet, I've added a secondary account. You'll see it's called District Service Provider. So you will actually see this once I add that second account. You'll have probably a teacher account first, and you'll have the second. If you only have this account, then you're already set. But for some of you who have actual students assigned to you for grades, those will show up in your teacher section. This will show up in this district service provider. So only that account can make groupings. You cannot make a group inside your teacher accounts. You can only do it here, and you will only see the option in this account. So you're going to go over to the home section, and you're going to see create maintain groups, and you're going to click on that button. Okay, and you can see here I've already built a group, but you can easily create a new group by simply naming it and hitting the save button. And I'm just going to add to the current report that you already have, but you can do this on your own. Okay, so once again, you go back to the home, create, maintain groups. So now I've already created a group name. Now I have to add some students to it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the edit group button here. And once I do that, I should see the name of that group show up here at the top. And then I'm going to have this search parameters. And this is where you're going to search for students. This account gives you the ability to search for any student inside your building. Now, if you have a big group of folks to add, my recommendation would be just type the first letter or two letters of the particular student you're looking for. So if I just was looking for students with T, I'm going to hit this. And the reason this is a good idea is, as you can see, I have every kid, and you'll see these little check boxes right over here. I can actually just click any number of students from my list. And if I need to see more, I can change this to more students. However, when you do that, as you can see, it unchecks those students. So if I want to add, I'm just adding some random students here to this group. If I want to add those 3 students, I just click the box. So I can kind of go through, do letters at a time, or if you have a lot of students that begin, say, with the letter S and C, you can just type SC in this search box, in this last name box here, hit search, and those will come up. Once I decide that those are the students that I want to add, I just say add check student to the group. And now those 3 students, as you can see up here, were now added to that group. Now I can run any of the reports that you could run from the section. You can also run right from this other section here as well. So I can just go up here to home and see my group if I want to see my group. To run a report, I simply go to the report section, and if I want to run, say, a keystone, well, let's run a keystone. There aren't many of these students that have had keystones. We can run that. I can go ahead and run that report and see, let's do a longitudinal on the literature exam. Now, as you can see, it'll show up and say no students are selected. But that's okay, because down here under student groups, any of your student groups will show up in here. So if you want to make multiple groups, and they can include some of the same students. So say you have this whole caseload of all of your students, but you want to break it down by only the 5th grade, or the 9th grade students, or the 10th grade students, or all the men, and all the women. However you want to break that, there can be one student in multiple groups. That's fine. But you just want to check the group that you're interested in. I'll check all grades here. all students, but once again, you have all the same options that you have when you run a report from the teacher side. You can run it by ethnicity, you can run it by IEP, non-gifted. Just as a side note, some of the gifted stuff we are still cleaning up. The state has changed the way that we report gifted students. So we have to make our changes in Skyward and then reflect those changes back to EdInsight. So there might be a little goofy right now, which also influences the IEP numbers a little bit. So don't freak out if you see a lot more students when you check this IEP than you think belong there. So anyway, I check what I want there. So I have all the people in my class, all grades, and I hit run the report. And then it runs that little report for me. So this will include all the students. It's not a very helpful report, but as you can see, you can run that particular report. You can do the student subject reports too, which are very nice. It works exactly the same way. I click what I want. I hit run a report. Then it gives me all these other nice choices here. So if I want to see the IEP status for the students, if I want to see their attendance summary, just remember, always pick summary. The detail will literally give you every single day that student's been out of class. You probably don't really need that in most cases. And say I just want to see things that are related to math and science. So I'll just check my math and science there. I'll see all the Keystone scores, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I can write some comments here. I'm not going to do that at this time. And then what I can just do here is do the view PDF report. And as you can see, it's generating some information. I'm hoping you can see this, just realizing that may not appear. So it's running a report. I will try to post a copy of what the report looks like in general terms after the session if it doesn't come out. But what it will do is print you a nice report with each individual student and their attendance summary, their grades, and if they had taken any Keystone scores, it would also show that. And it gives you every student then in your group. It's really nice. So once again, this is all done by your group, which you can create right here in that create group section, add your students, and then you can do anything with that group that you can do with your class group. So it is a really nice reporting tool, and I hope this helps and you can also in this tool, by the way, if there is a student that you want to do an individual search for and just pull up their individual data, you can do that too. So if I just pull up always a Snyder somewhere, and if I just say search, I can click on any of these students, and as you can see, it's the same menu options that you get for the kids in your current class. So you can bring up all that data set stuff that you need. Additionally, you can run that student report that gives you the individual report that we saw in the demos for students in your class. So this is a nice, easy way for you to pull out all of the data you need to write IEPs. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, by all means, give me a call, Joe Calamita, extension 1058, or you can just jot down an email, and hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions. And as also stated, please feel free to use these help and contact us areas up there if you have any questions that might be a little bit more detailed. I can answer a good chunk of it, but if I'm not available, that's certainly a good option for you as well. Have a good day. Thanks.